Hi, this is the audio clone of Mr. Von Neumann. This tutorial is on complex functions in Google Sheets. You might need to pause here if you need to review any syntax or come back to this later, but these are the commands that you'll need to type in order to get these operations done. A couple of reminders: Google Sheets does not recognize the order of operations, so you're going to have to program it. In the order that you want. The first operation that you want it to do will be the deepest in the set of parentheses. It's going to all be about parentheses. And the last operation that you want it to do will be the outside set of parentheses. I'm going to go ahead and show you an example now to show you what I mean by this first set of parentheses and then the last set of parentheses. So first, in this Google Sheet, I'll go ahead and label all the different factors that are going to be in this equation I want to program. So mass 1, mass 2, radius, gravity. I'll go ahead and label those at the top of the columns. So here's what I mean by the parentheses. If I want the mass 1 and mass 2 to be multiplied and divided by r squared before I multiply it by the g, these are going to be deepest in my parentheses. And the very deepest thing, the first thing I want to do is m1 times m2. So we'll go ahead and program that. That's going to be a multiply. And the first factor will be m1, so you can just click on that cell, and then you just do a comma, and my second factor is m2, and close your parentheses. So that's my first one. That gives us 50,000. So that's going to be deepest in my parentheses, but now I need to go ahead and have that divided by the r2. So here's where it gets a little tricky. To get this divided by r2, I'm going to have to go ahead and program in the operation divide. Set up the parentheses for that, and as you can see, I'm going to have my dividend, which is the number I'm going to divide, divided by my divisor, which is the one I'm dividing with. So ultimately I'll be dividing with this r2. So in my first parentheses, I'm going to have my dividend, which is this operation right here, the multiply, then my comma, my divisor, which is going to be another operation, which will be the squaring of r, so it'll be power, and then the base is going to be the unit, the cell, d2, and the exponent is going to be 2. So here's where the parentheses start to become a problem, and they help you here. They give you some clues. This parenthesis shuts this. If I add another parenthesis, it now shuts this power operation. If I add another parenthesis, it now shuts this whole operation. And that is what we wanted. We wanted to divide this operation right here, which was m1 times m2, by r squared, which is what we have here. So this should work correctly. There it is. And the next operation that we wanted to do was multiply the whole entire thing by g. And yes, I know it doesn't really matter. We could have done g times m1, m2 at the top. But just to show you that you're in control, you control the order when you program it. So it'll need another multiply, the whole entire thing. So multiply, parentheses, and the factor is going to be the g, so a2, times that whole entire multiple operation right here. So we need some parentheses for that. So we put 1 there, which will mean we'll need 1 more at the end. And again, it gives us clues. So it doesn't do it for us, but it gives us clues. So it's saying these two in gray, this one and this one, it shuts right to there. But we want it to shut all the way to here. So we'll need another parentheses that now shuts it to there, and 1 more that shuts it all the way past the A2. And that should work correctly. And what I meant by deepest in the parentheses, So what we did first is the deepest in the parentheses right here, this multiplying. The operation we're doing last is the farthest outside, which is this multiply. So you're basically, when you're combining multiple operations into a complex function, it's just carefully putting together these operations, paying attention to these parentheses, and making sure it works. There it is. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Enjoy and see what you can do.